Hey guys, what is up? AwesomeTheSauce here. Hope you guys are having a great day and welcome to a very exciting new update. I'm going to be covering in today's video one of the most sought after changes in the current test ROM. A lot of people have been talking about this and this is honestly crazier than I think anyone could have ever expected. What are you talking about, Sauce? I'm talking about the new Mastery Amulets in Test Realm right now. All you have to do to find them if you're in Test Realm is go to Brandon Mistborn and you'll see all of them right here. And basically, they're all called 4th Age Talismans, but depending on which one you look at, they'll have a different Mastery Amulet basically on it. The Fire Talisman gives Fire Mastery, the Ice one gives Ice Mastery. You get the deal. But I honestly think that if you look at these stats, you'll see what I'm talking about when I say this is actually crazier than ever expected. So in case you've never seen these before, let's do like a quick little overview, right? They all give the exact same stats. This is not like school dependent. This is important to note because a lot of Exalted Mastery Amulets, a lot of Omen Mastery Amulets, Darkmoor Mastery Amulets, they used to give slightly different stats based on the school, which kind of made some Mastery Amulets better than others. Now, there's none of that. So if your school fits better with a certain mastery over another, you're not punished for that. I think that's already an important point. So all of them give 595 HP, all of them give 78 block, they all give 2 square slots and a tier slot, and they also give 6 resist and pip conserve. Now, if we're doing a side-by-side, right? We're doing a side-by-side of something that I consider very good in most PvP metas, the Dragoon Amulet. What you'll notice is that if you're on a lower health school, there is literally no reason to not switch over. Literally, you get more HP, you get more resist, you get pip conserve, and you get extra square slots. In Test Realm right now, they're 1 arena ticket. I assume that there'll be a little bit more, but this cannot be understated how insane this is. So you guys are probably wondering, why did they add these and why are they so good? I think the answer is just simply that this is probably just going to be the new normal in PvP. This is not something that's like new to PvP, by the way. This has been around for a very long time before this update. Way back in the day, before this type of mastery was there, it wasn't uncommon for many schools to actually use Mastery Amulets. Stats were not put on amulets until, like, I want to say level 90 with Morganth Amulets and the Amulet of Divine Influence. It wasn't until then that we even saw people using amulets for stats. And back then, you used to do all kinds of things. You used to put Life Mastery on an Ice and heal. You used to do Death Mastery on a Balance so you can Doom and Gloom so other people couldn't heal. There were all kinds of setups that you could do. And honestly, it made PvP very exciting. And I honestly think that we missed out on that the past few years. And the fact that they're bringing it back now as like a new normal, not just, oh, you're trading off some stats so you can have mastery over another element. It's, bro, you don't even need to trade stats. Just use the other spells. Why don't you? I think that's the part that I'm excited about. And all kinds of schools have all kinds of like mastery amulets that are actually like not just viable, but like it fills in very well their current weaknesses. Let's look at an example. Now that these are accessible, as a storm, I could use Balance Rochambeau spells. I could use Death Rochambeau spells. I think a very good one that I've seen a lot of people use, for example, is a life one, because there's literally a life spell that can transfer things into blades. It's the Oni spell, basically. I could learn Oni's naturalism, I could have a valid trap counter, and I could have a very easy way to set up off-school blades so that I can get many blades so that I can fulfill the condition to do a Scion. So with the life mastery, not only would I be gaining stats, I'd also be having a really nice way to set up for a Scion because Oni's naturalism clears traps to give me blades, but also, even more importantly, I have an anti-trap stat counter. You can enfeeble blades off, you could use an Oni's thing on the traps that you have. You start to understand here that, like, there are ways that you can complement your school and really fill in the gaps that are bad. I'd want to talk about another stat that I think is very, like, this isn't just something that, like, they needed to do. I think this is very intentional. All of these now give pip conserve. So what does this mean for anybody who wants to run a setup, right, that maybe is low on pip conserve, right? Well, now let's say that you don't have 3-piece Dragoon. You have a way of gaining that pip conserve back without losing any stats. Before, what you had to do, and I kid you not, there's a best way to do it. You had to literally use like a Cabal amulet in order to get the pip conserve back, and it was really stupid because 1, it's very underleveled. 2, like, you know, you lose all these stats, right? You're losing blocks, so you're taking a lot of damage. You're losing HP compared to Dragoon things. Now, let's say that I'm running 3-piece Dragoon, right? If I happen to be running it, I'm gaining 140 pip conserve, sure, But let's say that I don't want to run Dragoon, I can just gain it back anyway. I think what's probably going to happen at the very beginning of the meta anyways is that people are still going to use the upgraded executive wands, which are in Lemuria right now. So if you don't know, right, if you look at the executive wand right in front of you, the Lemuria wands, there's a version of them. I think they're called like Supreme something, depending on the school. But basically, they gain you gain shadow chance, you gain a lot of pierce, you gain damage, and you keep your same school wand hit. The only thing that the new Lemuria wands that are upgraded versions of the executive wands, the only thing they don't give is pip conserve. So the fact that now you have another source of pip conserve in an amulet means that you could run an executive type wand, you could run a deck that gives pip conserve, and you could also run 3-piece Dragoon, and you're looking at a very, very nice setup that gives a lot of pip conserve. And the fact that it's universal pip conserve makes it so that, let's say that you use these odd pip Rochambeau spells, like, you know, that are off school, you could actually gain a pip. You might actually have a chance of gaining a pip back and gaining an aggressive amount of tempo. What I'm trying to say is these are going to be literally better to use than the current amulet, and they're going to open up options for off-school plays like we've never seen before. Now, obviously, there is one major downside compared to using a Dragoon amulet, and that's just a card. And I think this is gonna be, I don't want to like gloss over this, because I do think that this card is very, very important right now, because like, let's say someone summons a minion, right? Let's say they summon a 4-pip minion, a 3-pip minion, a 5-pip minion, any type of minion around that range. This is a shutout of a spell. If you have someone who puts 3 pips into a minion and you spend 4 pips to do 1, kill the minion, and 2, do all that damage, right? You're basically just wasting their pips and doing damage for free, basically. So you're looking at a card that wins you a lot if you catch your opponent slipping. As in, if they don't have a shield and they summon a minion, this is a very, very good card to have in that case. Not to mention the fact that right now, you know, with the no enchant shads, it's very, very nice to have basically a pre-enchanted hit in your inventory already. So yeah, we are gonna have to be careful when we are giving up the Dragoon hits, because, you know, you don't want a minion to completely take the game away from you. So yes, you are not gonna have these spells for damage and minion killing, but you know, if you don't have these, you might as well pack substitutes in them and make sure that you cover that ground. Yeah, you'll deck fail maybe a little bit more here and there, but hopefully it won't matter in the long run because you have so many other spells at your disposal. Another thing that I do think is very important to note, right? These mastery amulets are visible. So basically, when you buy a mastery amulet, there's a wisp that goes around you and it tells your opponent what school that they are. Now, if you don't know how these work, this is probably, if you're doing PvP, it's probably the best time to learn. Basically, there's going to be a wisp going around your opponent, and the color corresponds to the mastery. So some of them are very obvious, like I think life is just green, so it's very obvious. Like ice, it's like very blue. Fire's very red. It's very, very obvious. Well, when you start getting into it, I think it'll be more natural. But there are no secrets when it comes to the secondary school that your opponent uses. It's just how they use them. I think it's just like, it's good to have that information, because, you know, you'll avoid, like, let's have a balance mastery on a storm. Maybe you'll avoid some of the spells that make a balance mastery good with regard to the new, like, Rochambeau spell. But yeah, if that is something that people don't know, that might be the reason they literally lose whole games. So hopefully, honestly, I don't even think it would be, like, maybe in a future update, they could make the wisps even more obvious. Maybe they could put a symbol on them that's obvious to see. I don't think there should be a secret when it comes to these. And honestly, it really shouldn't be a guessing game what mastery amulet your opponent happens to have. My big question is just how many arena tickets is going to be. Right now, I think for testing purposes, it's literally 1 arena ticket. But if it's a 150 amulet and it follows the same path as these, then you're looking at 10,000, which, listen, considering that mastery amulets are literally for crowns, 7,500 crowns on the crown shop, this is a big, you could put this at a high price and it would still, like, be fine. I hope that they're very accessible. They are obviously just for PvP because it says minus 100% mana, so it's not like it's gonna be like a setup for PvE anyways, but this might require quite a few tournaments to do in order to actually get all the arena tickets for this. But I could see this being one of the best changes that they've ever made to PvP. But yeah, guys, that's going to be today's video. There is more to this update, so there will be another video where I go over a lot of the changes that actually happened. It's actually a very, like, big update for a week 3 test run. I feel like we're nearing the end because this is almost everything that we expected in PvP, but I will be doing and testing all of these spells and everything tonight on Test Realm, so turn on noties, make sure you tune into the stream. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be all kinds of chaotic plays everywhere. As always, drop a like if you enjoyed, leave a sub if you're new, and as if somebody has not told you you're awesome today, they doing something wrong, let me know what combinations with masteries that you're going to use with what school. I would love to hear y'all's strategies so I can use them on stream tonight. Let me know in the comments below. Stay awesome, y'all. And yeah, y'all.